doing this. I did a little video, but I don't know what happened to it. So I'm here in the truck on the side of the road. I'm going to start it up for you so you can listen to it go through the gears. Oh, there's my pivot. I've got it down in low because I've got a full tank of feed on here. Okay, I made it to the second set of tanks, and as cool as this truck sounds, after about 4 minutes of it, it ain't so cool anymore. But that's just how it goes. You can see. This truck's working great for now, but as much of this feed as we've been using, I'm going to build a gooseneck trailer for my pickup and just put this tank on it because it's just so much quicker. You can probably get this stuff out twice as fast as you can now with the truck. That's coming one of these days, hopefully this year, before the summer starts. We put this stuff out for all the calves on grass. You can build the trailers really easily. All it needs is just two 7,000-pound Torflex axles under it. It's just super simple. That's one of my fancy tools for. It keeps the hose in there, because if you don't, then starting the pump and getting back over here, it just blows out. And makes it pretty nice. And this is just molasses, is all it is. Got a little fat with it. This helps meet the requirements, you know, that our cows might be short on from us putting out range cubes and in the grass. But this is what the ranch looks like. A whole lot of grass and no trees. We have one tree there. It's like our only tree that actually grows randomly. I kind of want to build a trailer where we'll have the tank and then have a spot up in front, kind of where the cab is on this truck, to haul one of these tanks or some of the other styles that I have, just so when you're moving tanks around and taking feed places, you got a room for another tank. Because I'm probably just going to build it like a gooseneck, and just instead of a bumper pull. I think it'd be a little bit stouter. What I'll do is I'll just turn this valve off. That makes it easy for me just to switch. Doesn't hurt to get feed on these tanks, because these old cows will come up and they'll lick it off. They're not going to leave it. I can promise you that. See if we can make it. There we go. Turn it back on. This molasses, it eats up fittings pretty good. You can see the corrosion on these brass fittings. But the cows really like it, and it's fairly cheap, so it's good to have. If you've got it set up where you can do it, it's definitely something to do. It makes a big difference. I just got a little pump, little gas-fired pump up there. But that is one thing about this molasses. It's pretty corrosive, so you will go through pumps. If you buy cheap pumps, which I've bought expensive pumps, and it will go through them just as fast as it will a cheap pump. It'll eat out the gaskets in them, and so it'll just blow feed everywhere. And I've done it where I've just bought pump replacements, where you can just put the pump on the motor, and that makes it pretty cheap for replacing them. But you will go through pumps on this stuff if you feed a lot of it. My hose is getting kind of worn, but these tanks are like 280 gallon tanks, and I can haul 1,000 on the truck. So depending on how full I get them, I can get 3.5. if there's any in them, you know, you hope to get 4 tanks, but these ones didn't have anything in them. That's what it looks like. Looks like we're about there. This pump's really bad. The spark plug wire will just randomly pop off of it. It'll be pumping feed, and then the engine will die. The first time it happened to me, I sat there and cranked on that thing and cranked on it. Thought it was out of gas. Checked it. Finally looked down at that, and the wire just come off. But it was a pretty cheap little pump, so wasn't surprising. And if you don't know, they have these wheels in here. You can feed this stuff without the top. You can just free choice. But those wheels, they will keep the consumption of it down to about 2 pounds a head a day. Because the cows will sit there and lick on that stuff and lick on it and lick on it, and they'll get tired. You know, their tongues will actually get tired from sitting there licking on that. And that's pretty much how you control the feeding rate of it. And it does work. It works really well. But I like to put this stuff out in old fields where they'd been planted back to grass from the 30s. Because the grass isn't as good, but it produces a lot of grass. And so this stuff will draw the cows up here, and they'll spend time eating up here instead of down where the native grasses are, which are way more palatable. And so it kind of keeps them spread out. It does a lot of good. But this stuff right here, this just is not as palatable as our native grasses. It's an old type of blue stem. But anyway, thanks.